Happy new moon, everybody. We are now officially in the Sagittarius new moon. And we have Sagittarius energy on the tropical and on the Vedic chart, so that's real fun. We love it here. Yay. Okay. Let's give y'all a little insight in our chan. On the 19th. Today is the day of understanding. Because we're in the month of understanding. We're pre-gaming for March, right? We're a quarter away from, for those of you guys who like to celebrate your New Year's in the spring, we're a quarter away from your New Year's. Gang, gang. Um, and so we're like pre-gaming in this month of three. We're pre-gaming for the March three, but we break this month of three down to knowledge and wisdom. That'll bring us the understanding. That way, when March comes around, we already in the understanding. We already know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And we doing that in our actions, Aries energy, and we doing that with also bringing things to an end on that Pisces vibe, right? And that's real fun. We love it there, right? And so, in this space of understanding today is all about knowledge being born. You think it, you birth it, you know. One is that initiator, that cardinal energy, that leadership energy. And nine is the celestial womb. Peace, Adonis. Nine is that celestial womb. We giving birth to these thoughts. And that gives us our experience and our malkuth and our jeb, because one and nine come together and make 10. And then it brings us right back to one. We right back into knowledge. So today is that alignment of the thought and your earthly experience. So how are your thoughts affecting your earthly experience? How did they affect your earthly experience today? Did you allow certain thoughts to get the best of you? Were you able to defeat certain thoughts? Were you flowing with certain thoughts and they were making your experience today like even better? Like, that's all to do in your journal, your diary, if you will. But we're going to take that one and put it into this month of understanding, this month of creation, expression, emotions, Gemini energy of community and opportunities and communication and being flexible and witty and being able to think on your toes. And we love it here. And so that brought us to four. Hey, peace, Praveen, Praven, I don't know. And that brought us to four. Four is chesed. Four is my yacht. Four is the square that we build upon, being reliable, dependable. This is a fixed number, that's why it's the number of the divine blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So we have this four, and we are in the year of 9. This is our last month in the year of 9, y'all. So for those of you guys who do celebrate your New Year's in the month of 3, now as being in the, our pre-gaming month of 3, this is, enjoy this, like sit in this, because this is our last month of 3 in the year of 9. Peace, Fernando. Hi, She Demon. What's up? Hey, besties. Thank you for loving my channel. Let people know I exist. I'm here. So, in this month of 9, we're gonna put this energy of 4, this chesed, this blueprint into this month of 4, and that's going to bring us, hey Reds, that's going to bring us to 13, 1 and 3. So 13 is a karmic debt number for so many reasons. We can get into the spiritual religious realm of it. Anybody that was found celebrating the moon and the 13 phases of the moon, woo wop, y'all was dragged into the streets and burnt at the stake type situation, you know what I'm saying? But 13, 1 is about taking action, and 3 is on how you feel. So taking action on how you feel, especially in this kind of society that we live in, where it say get out your feelings and stop feeling things, and it's not that deep and all these different things. So that 13 is a very difficult number to deal with in that realm. And then it's also about expressing what you know, which is also very difficult in this realm, because we're coming out of that age of Pisces that had us in that space of having a school of thought, being a school of fishes. And in order to be a proper school of fishes to help you against the sharks, we all had to look the same. We all had to swim the same. We all had to be on the same frequency. We all, we had to be on one accord, whether you agreed with it or not, because that was survival. It was like a herd immunity type situation going on, right? We not there no more. We in Aquarius. It's about being unique and united. It's about being yourself. What do you think? What do you know? Being your ketters. What are your downloads? It's time for you to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so that 13 gets real difficult in that space because we still got some people clinging on to you staying in that age of Pisces. Think like us, be like us. I'm the leader, and everybody has to sit around my pulpit. Everybody has to sit around my church, my temple, my organization, my business, my tribe. Me, mine. So, and if you don't think the way they think, now you get disrespected, you get insulted, you get ostracized, you're being separated from the pack. Why? Hey, if all that happens, that means you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you in the clear. Peace more 7-4. Thank you guys for liking the screen and everything. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sharing and all of that. Um, but that's what that 1 and 3 is about. Overall, today is a day of 4. So once you really like stand on your 1 and 3 with that energy, like, I'm gonna speak on what I know, I'm gonna express what I know, and I'm gonna act on how I feel. you know you're creating that 4 with that energy. You're creating those blocks. You're creating that celestial blueprint for you. 4 is chesed. 4 is also associated with Mayat. And I know that we have a collective Mayat. I keep it in the background. You know what I'm saying? I know we have a collective Mayat. However, you have your personal Mayat. You have your personal law. You might look at those 42 laws and say, what, some of those, some of those just sound kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That I don't totally agree with this. I don't totally abide by this. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with you. It just, you have your own internal law. You have your own internal order. You have your own internal constitution. And you have to get in tune with that. You are your self master. You are your self law. And so, yeah, do your thing. Today is a day of 4. Enjoy this day of 4. Be in your Mayat. Talk to yourself about your celestial blueprint. You got about an hour left. If you want CST with me, you got about an hour left to get it done. So that is the mathematics for today. We're actually on the 29th of Kislev. And for those of you guys that use the Hebrew calendar, we love it here. This is the 5th day of Hanukkah. At this point, you should have 6 lights on your menorah, right? Like I was saying, the moon is in Sagittarius on the tropical and the Vedic chart. The sun is on Sagittarius on the tropical and Vedic chart as well. We just entered Sagittarius constellation like 2 days ago. So we're only about at like a 2-degree Sagittarius constellation. The moon and Venus were in minimal angle this morning at 6:13 a.m. The moon was 5.5 degrees south-southwest. Conjunction at 10:17 a.m. The moon was 5.7 degrees south. And because we are in this new energy, like we're having a new quote-unquote new Venus, new Mercury, new moon. So we're going through these new cycles with these planets right now, which is really fun, right? So now you get a refresh. We're starting the solstice with a refreshed throat chakra, with a refreshed heart chakra, and with a refreshed third eye. So, all of that. And also, Mercury and Aries are at minimal angle. They were at minimal angle at 8:16 a.m. Mercury was 5.5 degrees north-northeast, also not visible because we're in that new Mercury energy, right? And Mercury deals with the throat chakra. So in Aries is a star in the Scorpius constellation. Scorpio is all about empowering transformations, building and destroying, revelations. It could be a little dramatic. Hey, Francis, peace. All that fun stuff, right? And so Mercury being there deals with the throat chakra. It deals with our moral and integral code, how we listen, how we speak. Some people are speaking very dramatically. Some people are speaking very in a revelation type of energy of revealing certain things, uncovering, unraveling certain things, destroying bridges, destroying reputations, destroying masks, destroying a bunch of stuff with their communication. Some people are building with those conversations, also building and destroying with your habits, your schedule, your routine. What parts of self or how in your reality would you like to be of service? Because Mercury deals with being of service. Building and destroying with your problem solving skills. What do I need to take away? What do I need to add into my space? All of that. That all is in divine alignment with Mercury being in Aries. And we give thanks that Mercury has gotten away from those Deshuba and Graphia stars, because that was all Saturn and Mars energy. That was bringing Saturn comes with the challenges, right? And Saturn's challenges can be very extreme. And, we give Saturn a bad rep, but those are challenges that we need. So it's like when you speak what you want into existence, or that idea comes to you through the Ketters, the Aquarius energy. Saturn is giving you the restrictions and the limitations and the challenges that are required for that thought, that idea, that light to come into fruition in the physical realm. All right. And we don't necessarily like that. Like, I got this thought in my mind. This is, the kind of life I want to live. I want to have this goal. I want to have that goal. Well, Saturn is like, all right, well, you got to have this level of discipline. You got to have this level of strength. You got to have, these kind of muscles. You got to learn how to deal with this. You got to learn how to, I got this idea in my mind. Hey, I want to do my astrology online. Well, you got to have the thick skin to deal with people saying whatever they want to say to you in the comments. You got to deal with, you got to know how to deal with certain things. And that's all Saturn energy, right? So Mars also deals with the solar plexus chakra. And when we deal with the solar plexus chakra, we come into the space of confidence and control. Okay. And in our solar plexus chakra, one thing I always say we have to learn is the only entity, the only element in our space, hey Austin, that we can control is ourselves, right? And we love to try to control our elements outside of ourselves. We love to try to control other people around us. You should behave like this. You should talk like this. Hey, this hurts my feelings, so you should do that in response to my feelings. We love to try to manipulate other people, places, things, situations, ideas outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But it's really ourself that we can control. It's really ourself that we can transform. And everything else just follows suits in response to what we're doing for ourselves. And that's what Mars wants to bring us to. Okay? What college major are you? I like what you were talking about. Oh, thank you. I'm not in college anymore, but I did go to college for psychology. But yeah, so with Saturn giving us the challenges, it should be fueling your Mars, your confidence and courageousness as you're going through these challenges. I'm way more confident in my craft. I'm way more confident in my gift. I'm way more confident in what it I said I wanted to do, this, that, and third, because I've been through all these challenges and I'm still doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that Saturn and Mars energy. However, like I said, they come real hard. They could be very restrictive. They could be real, quote unquote, traumatizing. Y'all know I don't like that word, trauma. But I know that we are in a society now where people are being called to be softer, so everything is trauma, everything is trauma, everything is trauma. So right now, a lot of that is happening to our throat chakra as a collective, right? But now we have softened up. Mercury being around Aries, and Aries is more so Jupiter and Mars than it is Saturn and Mars. So now you dealt with the challenges to your solar plexus chakra, what triggers you, what angers you, what motivates you, what gets you going, what puts you in that confidence, what is it that you're trying to control in the face of challenges? Are you realizing that when you're in the face of challenges, it's you that you have to control and not the challenge? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So now we're in Jupiter. Now Jupiter kind of gives you the gifts. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter still, give you a little nudge, a little push or whatever, because it still deals with standing on business in an extent. However, it gives you a little bit more grace because now we're in the sacral chakra with it. We done moved up to the sacral chakra. So now we have the connection of the solar plexus chakra to your joy. And how you act with Mercury and Aries, shows you how well you've been doing with Mercury, with Graphius and Teshuvah, those root chakra stars. Okay, so now we've moved up to the sacral chakra part of the Scorpius constellation. We're in the philanthropy. We're being optimistic. We're being more expansive. Long-term planning is happening here too. So make sure that your short-term goals, that Mercury energy, which deals with day to day, hour to hour, week to week, make sure that those steps are lining you up to that Jupiter energy. You know what I'm saying? What's the big picture here? What's the expanded idea here? You know what I'm saying? Are these energies in alignment? It matters. It matters because Mercury can put you in a space of procrastination if you allow it. Gemini give you so many opportunities. You start trying to do all the low-hanging fruit first, thinking you do something like, let me do all the quick stuff first. And it ain't really that quick because you keep procrastinating on that big thing. You're not allowing yourself to get the strength for that big thing yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's Mercury traveling through the Scorpius constellation. That's cool. You talking like you did a little geography, or like the way you explain on animal. I I like science. I love all the elements of science, and I just combine them all together, and that's what I do. Comet 240p neat at 4:51 p.m. today was the smallest distance to the sun. We love comets. What comets do is they have all the celestial material of a bunch of different galaxies and nebulas and all these systems and stuff like that, and they just travel around, and it being close to the sun is close to the spotlight upon us, so we should experience things in our experience and our interactions, because the sun is the spotlight. And you might have some deja vu. You might come to some, something familiar about your energy. I've had this conversation before. I've been in this mind space before. I've had this battle before. All these things have happened before, and it feels like you're repeating a pattern. Well, cool. I'm glad you noticed the pattern you're repeating right now. Now, what are you going to do with it this time around? Are you going to do the same thing that you did before? If that thing that you did before worked for you, then why not do the same thing you did before? Or do you want to do something different? You know what I'm saying? We also have the max south declination of the moon at 5:05 p.m. So even though it's a new moon, it's very low. Again, the new moon was at 7:44 p.m. This is when the moon is between the sun and the earth, and of course, it is not visible. Then we have the Leonis Minoris, the meteor shower from the Little Lion constellation, and we know the line is all about royalty and creativity and expression. We get into the paternal energy, masculine vibes, but we also get into the inner child energy at the same time here. And so going outside and grounding yourself in that meteor shower, pull that sun card, you know what I'm saying? Bring yourself into that inner child energy, bring yourself into that, that king's energy too. They move about 5 an hour for my sky watchers out there. If y'all want to, check them out. They should start slowing down a little bit now after they reach max activity. But no worries, because we got a few major meteor shower. We got our major meteor shower coming, y'all. Don't worry. I like science too, most especially astronomy. There are a lot of interesting facts. Oh, definitely. I love astronomy, astrology, physics, quantum physics. I like the theories of geography, geology, all that. I love all of it. And I'm constantly learning, though. I won't sit here and say I'm a master of any of it. I'm always learning. I'm always growing in that space. Peace, Vibe Station. How you doing, love? Hey, Sandra. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Cartoon. And so that's what we have today. So what we will be doing in today's planetary forecast is we're going to go from new moon to new moon. So I did the time that we entered the new moon. Today was at 7:44 p.m. So we're going to talk about where the planets were at today, how we're starting this lunar cycle. Now, if you want to follow along on a personal level, I suggest you pull up your personal chart. I always say, be present, pull up your progressive chart. Where are your planets at for you today? If you want to work on your natal chart because you're still working on your inner child and who you were when you first got here, cool. But if there's a certain age of yourself you want to work with, some of you guys are not working with your inner infant. Some of you guys want to work with your inner teenager, or your younger person about 5 years ago, your younger person in the 20s, etc., etc. Go to that date. Put that date in your progressive chart. Put that birth date in your progressive chart. Like if I want to go to my inner 10-year-old, I would go 10 years from my birth date. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. What time does Interstellar Object Atlas get closest? I don't even have that. You talking about the comet? I have the comet the closest to the sun at 4:51 p.m. That already passed. You got those 10 likes from me. You doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, that was earlier today. That was earlier this evening. So that's how you do that. So let's get into where the planets were at when we were officially at the new moon energy, and then we will slowly converse ourselves to the next new moon, which will be on January 18th. And I'll talk about some major events happening from there to then. Okay? Progress chart energy came through for me earlier. Yeah, it's time to be in a progressive. The person you are now is like, can I get some attention? Like, we always talking about who you was when you first got here. I want to be seen. And then everybody's always in their egos like, I am my sun sign. You are not your sun sign. You have sun sign. Your sun sign is your experiences. What kind of experiences do you have? I have Virgo experiences. You know, your rising sign is more so your energy than your sun sign. For those of you guys who don't know, I mean, closest to Earth. Also, is it demons or aliens? Closest to Earth? No, it's closest to the sun right now. So it's in opposition of the Earth. So if it's in opposition of the Earth right now, I don't know the speed of that comet to say when it's going to be closest to Earth. Honestly, I don't think it's happening within this month, though. So when I do come to that and it pops back up, if it says it's come back, because I wrote all of these notes, but I didn't etch a sketch them in my brain because I do the forecast on a almost daily basis anyway. So I don't have an answer to you off the top of my head. But if it does pop back up, I'll let you know. We do have some more comments coming through during this month though. But I think that they are all closest to the sun. I have to see which ones is closest to the earth when it happens. Peace, sunshine. How you doing, love? All right. So, sun and moon over there in Sagittarius, having the time of their lives. And then, like I said, we're in Sagittarius on the tropical and on the Vedic chart, okay? Oh, my mom used to sing me that song, You Are My Sunshine. That's how I got my nickname. My mama gave me this jewel. If you etch or sketch stuff in your brain, you have to make sure not to shake your head. Right. That was a good one. So we are chatting about the tropical and Vedic are in alignment, but not in degrees. All right. Draconic chart, the sun and moon are already in Capricorn. So the draconic chart deals with the spiritual experience as a collective. All right. As a collective, the sun and moon are already in Capricorn, already in the challenges that are supposed to come forth to give us, the strength that's required to do what we do. They're actually at a fixed degree. The sun being at 15 degrees and the moon was at 12 degrees at the time of the new moon energy. And then Mars wasn't too far off at 20 degrees Capricorn, and Venus was also at 11 degrees. So Venus, like I said earlier, Venus and the moon were pretty much on top of each other at this point, putting our third eye close to our heart. So, one in your heart chakra should have been playing in your head. All right. Some of those things might have been things you didn't want to hear. Some of y'all, those quote unquote intrusive thoughts, I'm having doubts. I'm having, maybe my thoughts are grandiose. I'm just really thinking about the things that I want, the things I desire, how I've been valuing myself, how I do value myself, right? And some of y'all coming to the realization y'all don't value yourselves and what it is that y'all got going on as much as you thought you did. You know what I'm saying? As those sounds, are playing through your third eye, like, wait a minute, where is this coming from? I've been doing so well. Well, the moon is real close to your heart chakra right now, showing you what vibration you've been on. So you've been out here manifesting things, going through the motions, going through the rituals, lighting the candles, playing with the crystals, woo wah, and you finally listen to your heart, and your heart like, bro, I don't really believe none of this shit. I don't believe I'm good enough. I don't believe I'm doing this. I don't believe I'm doing that. I don't think that could really happen. When I get my life together, maybe I'll deserve something like this, but my life not even together enough for me to have that. I gotta go do this for such and such first. I gotta boo 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 boo. Coming into a lot of this doubt, a lot of this imposter syndrome, a lot of the pushbacks and stuff like that. I'm speaking from that level because we're talking about Capricorn right now. Capricorn is all about challenges. So what challenges are in your heart that's preventing you from saying and manifesting what your desires with all your heart? Is there anything that needs to be cleansed out of that? And if it is, make sure y'all come to my class tomorrow night, because we will be doing a full Netaru cleanse. Come through with your birth chart, y'all. Because we're going to do a Netaru cleanse, and then we're going to make space to manifest for the solstice. It's going to be a great time. I'm very excited about this. Okay. But yeah, so that's the challenges. And that's all happening in our earth body, our spiritual experience, which always moves faster. The air always moves faster than the light. The light is the tropical, and then the physical is the slowest, which is the Vedic. The actual happenings and stuff like that move the slowest. And so that's all that's happening in the light. It's already in Capricorn. We already have Mars giving us our motivation there. We already motivated for the challenges. We're already ready for that. We're already triggered by the challenges. Once the tropical chart lines up and you start realizing, because Mars is already in Capricorn on the tropical chart. So once you start realizing the challenges, it should already be like second motion once Mars enters there on the Vedic chart, right? I already practiced this energetically. I practiced this in my mind. Now it's in the physical. Let's get it done. All right. And like I said, the sun and moon is there, which is your intuition and your mask, your appearance, what you put out into the world. You know, Capricorn just wants you to be successful, but there's no easy button to being successful. There's no quick button. There's no that Staples red button. There's none of that to being successful. And that's what Capricorn wants to remind you of. If you want the strength, you have to lift the weights. You know, there's no easy AI type in chat GPT situation to that. You know what I'm saying? You even got to go through the challenges to learn how to talk to that to even get those kind of answers, righteously. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Capricorn really wants the best for you. Like, I really just want to help y'all. Y'all keep giving me a bad rep and calling me trauma and trying to cleanse me and get rid of me and ignore me and push me to the side and act like y'all don't need me. I had posted something earlier yesterday or today, but I was like, are you isolated? Or, are you going out into the world and allowing things to trigger you, or you're isolating yourself so you're never triggered? Like, are you truly healed? Which one is it? And a lot of people, proudly said, I isolate myself. Well, your root chakra you're not getting the proper strength in your root chakra then. Especially if the type of thing that not everybody has goals and aspirations and dreams and hobbies and stuff like that. Not everybody's a community person. I get that. But for those of you guys who want to go in that realm, isolating yourself is not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. You have to learn how to be in spaces, to be triggered, to be questioned, to have, that back and forth, that call and response, that equal opposite energy. If you don't know how to have that, it's going to be very difficult for you to walk into those spaces, those rooms you swear up and down you want to walk into, to shake the hands you swear up and down you want to shake. And then as soon as they do something that trigger you, your root chakra is so fucking weak. You're going to be like, oh, this isn't for me. I can't do this. I have to go back home. I quit. This is too hard. Oh my gosh. Like, it's going to be your instant response because you don't know how to go through anything. You don't allow yourself to go through anything. You have to allow yourself to go through shit. I'm sorry, like, that's a part of the game. If you over here like, I'm never going to go through stuff, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to hide under a rock and I'm going to do that. Like, bro, you're going to be weak. And the moment somebody do anything to you, you're going to fold. Whatever pattern you swerving down, you healing from, self-destruction, sabotage, all that stuff like that, you're going to fold so quickly. Because you weak. You weak as hell. But, some people are proud of that. You got to ask yourself, when I plant my seeds, am I planting my seeds because I want a rubber tree? Them rubber trees is tall. They strong. But if you look at the roots of a rubber tree, bro, you're not fucking with no rubber tree roots, bro. But you got to think about what that seed had to go through to grow through that dark ass dirt. All of those, little critters in the dirt trying to eat the root, trying to eat the seed. It had to go through all of that. Sometimes the dirt is dry. Sometimes the dirt is frozen. All these different things the seed had to go through in the dark by itself before it could blossom, before it can grow, before it can keep growing into a rubber tree. Or if you're trying to be like a little plant, a house plant. You want the roots of a house plant. Soon as the weather changed 5 degrees, you shriveling up. You can't survive no more. You know what I'm saying? That is up to you. You're going to be a house plant, or you're going to be somebody that can go out and survive the elements and be strong as shit. That's up to you and the reality you want to have. Hey, serial killer, what's up with you? But that's the energy Capricorn, it's like I'm just trying to help you. And this energy, these placements are happening in the sixth house. So it's about your health, wellness, daily routine, how you are being of service, your communication. I know Gemini more so deals with community, but so does Virgo, because Virgo wants to be of service. Virgo likes to help. Virgo loves to problem solve. Virgo analyzes. Virgo teaches and listens, speaks and learns. All right, that requires other parties, or you could just be sitting there talking to yourself in different facets of you. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But that requires a certain level of community to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that is at there. So make sure what you're putting into your routine, your schedule, your habits is in alignment with what you told yourself you wanted. Again, this is all happening in our auric body. What's happening in our mindset is you should be in that long-term planning, says the sun, the moon, Venus, and Mercury that are in Sagittarius right now. The sun, moon are in the sixth house in Sagittarius right now. And so they are giving us that energy of, long-term planning, expansion, being optimistic in this space, the wisdom, and not just any wisdom. We're talking about wisdom from the oracles, the sages. We're talking about spiritual wisdom. We're talking about chokma here, the chokma to the chesed energy here. That ain't no regular schmegular wisdom of I know when I tie my shoe I don't trip. Nah, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. All right. So our aura is where it's at. Our mindset is over here. This is how we're starting the new moon energy. This is how we're starting this new moon cycle. You guys should be planning. You guys should be prepared for your Bina that we're about to walk into on Sunday. On Sunday, the sun enters Capricorn zodiac. So your mindset should be pretty much gearing itself, getting ready for the challenges, the mental challenges. You definitely should have been paying attention to your heart chakra today. What did your heart tell you today? Is there some things that need to be cleared up, cleaned up, massaged, healed, spoken to, journaled about, unraveled? What's going on? Especially to y'all that like to hibernate and isolate yourself. What's going on? Did you enjoy today? Did you challenge yourself today? In what ways? So, coming back to the tropical chart, all of that in Sagittarius. Mercury is also in Sagittarius too. So that long-term planning should be in alignment with the details. Again, be mindful of procrastination. Don't get so caught up in the details that you start only putting low-hanging fruit so that you can procrastinate on the alignment to those big tasks. Mercury is still in Sagittarius on the draconic chart too. All right. So Mercury is in alignment, not in degrees, of course, but Mercury is in alignment as far as zodiac energy, both of them being in the fifth house. So we're in our inner child with it. We're in our Tiphareth. We're in that heart. We're in the wands energy. So it's fire on fire. We're in that fire house, in a fire zodiac with this air planet, air/mutable earth planet. All right. So how are we taking action on a daily basis? How is this contributing to the long-term goals, the business plan? When we deal with Sagittarius, we're dealing with the nines. So give yourself a 9 for this. So what you're doing now, see, my New Year's is in September. I like the way the Ethiopians do it. I like the way the Jewish people do it. We in September with the harvest, because in my mindset, the act of planting a seed should be the New Year's. Okay? Your New Year's can be whatever you want it to be. I don't argue with nobody, but that's my New Year's for me, is the action of actually putting the seed in the dirt. And when we get to this winter solstice, at this point, the root should be taking form. That way, by the time we get to Aries, now my plant is finally, sprouting, and I'm enjoying it. And then by the time we get to the solstice, I done already ate the fruit and we're having a good time. And now we're starting to prepare for the next new year where I got to plant the seeds again. So that's how the energy flows for me. You fine with flowing with y'all. Some of y'all do like having y'all New Year's in Aries. Some of y'all like having y'all New Year's during the winter solstice. Y'all like, having that balance. Like, okay, we done dealt with all this darkness. Now we about to come into the light. That's perfect for the New Year's for y'all. Some of y'all like to have y'all New Year's in the summer solstice, which is perfectly fine. Like, bro, we're at the pinnacle of lightness, and then we're about to get darker. Like, everybody has their own natural clock. That's why it's so important today, on a day of 4, to be in your personal truth with your internal blueprint. Okay? You don't gotta do what I do. Do what you do. Okay? But Mercury being in that 5th house is like, get into your heart. What is your heart saying? How do you feel? What do you want to create? Where's your dramatics at? The dramatics is going to show you what you passionate about. Some of y'all chatting about stuff and y'all planning and organizing stuff that y'all not even passionate about. Y'all just doing it because y'all feel like this is what should be done. You know what I'm saying? This is how it should be. You know what I'm saying? This is what I should be doing. Like, but are you passionate about it? Is it really in your heart? Have those conversations with self. So that's what's happening from the 6th to the 5th house. And then we also have Lilith. Let's not forget Lilith over here. Lilith in the draconic chart is in Sagittarius. We start off is 10 degrees away from Mercury. Mercury being at a 27 degree in that mutable energy, and then Lilith is in that fixed energy of Sagittarius at a 17 degree. Then and that's what's happening on our auric body. So also Lilith deals with our primordial self, our rebellious self. Hey, corrupted, our rebellious self. Who we are, stripping away the rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying? Our revolutionary energy, and that's also in Sagittarius. So that is being aligned with, like, yeah, do you. I don't really want to repeat my whole monologue all over again. But basically what I said about you having your own internal law, like, embrace the fact that you're different and you want to do different things. You know what I'm saying? Lilith is over there in Scorpio, and our thought process of tropical chart. So how we think things are. Hey, J Big. My day has been pretty good. I've been over here trying to tackle this infinite to-do list. We getting through it though. We get through it. I'm very proud of myself. We can get that shit sunshine. But in our mindset, in that space of transformation, to build on your Lilith. Some of y'all be rebels without a cause. Some of y'all just be like, I'm just gonna say no, and it's no, and it's no, it's no, it's no. And some of you guys do need to start saying no. Some of you guys do need to destroy some things out of that rebellious energy, out that dark energy. Scorpio is not just about building and destroying, though. Scorpio is also about revelations, revealing some things. It could be a little messy with those revelations, but some of you guys need to come to some certain realizations of who you are, what you're really about, what you really stand for. Because y'all been playing nice and playing quiet and playing small for mad long. You know what I'm saying? And your internal self is getting mad at you. Now, on the external self, you probably out here blaming everything else. Like, it's this society's fault, it's this fault, it's that fault. That person got their foot on my neck, and this person that, and I'm oppressed, and blah blah blah. No, it's you. It's you. You're not being in your truth, and that's going to get louder and louder. And that should already be louder and louder in your physical experience, because we have in our Scorpius constellation. We have Venus here in our Scorpius constellation, giving us revelations in our heart chakra, building and destroying things in our heart chakra. We have Mercury still in Scorpius constellation, giving us transformations in our throat chakra, how we're communicating. And we also have Lilith in this space of transformation. And all of this is happening in the 5th house. So it's happening in our ability to create. It's happening with our inner child. It's happening with our thespian, our inner thespian. Who it is that we feel like we have to act like is undergoing transformations. Y'all don't feel like y'all have to keep acting like anybody. Y'all should be, Lilith said, y'all should not be acting, period. What do you mean who we gotta act like? Be yourself. This is reality TV. Ain't no script. Y'all don't gotta read a script. Y'all never had to read a script, but y'all got so caught up in the world's a stage and play your part and wear the costume to how you want to be treated, and da 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 da. Nah, bro. People are getting by being themselves. People are getting by being themselves. People are getting their abundance being themselves. You don't gotta act like nothing. And that's what those 3 placements of Scorpius in that 5th house should be showing you. What are you acting for? Why are you wearing a costume? Is that how you want to dress? Is that how you want to look? Is that how you want to talk? Is that really how you want to carry yourself? Are you really being who you want to be? We get it. You had to act a certain way for survival. You felt like you had to act a certain way to fit in. You were domesticated to act a certain way in education system with your parents. Your parents didn't know any better. They just knew who and what taught them how to act. So they just put that shit on you because they like, well, this helped me in my survival. Let me help my child in their survival by telling them, hey, you got to act like this. You got to dress like that. You got to keep your hair like this. Your hygiene got to be like that. You got to carry yourself like this. You got to have those kind of mannerisms. You have to have this level of intellect. You have to have this level of ambition. You got to be willing to do woo, 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 because that was the act. That was the script that you had to have for survival when we were in Pisces and everybody had to be the same. We not there no more. We're not there no more. They started getting their feet wet with reality TV when we had the Blair Witch Project. They wanted to see how far can we go with reality TV with these folks. And people were just as confused with reality TV as they was with the script. They couldn't tell the fucking difference. And then it got to the point where people got so sucked into reality TV, they didn't even realize certain reality, quote unquote, reality TV was scripted. The more authentic you are, that's where your abundance is. You wanna know why? Because your authenticity is what's natural. That's what's natural. And nature is abundant. That act, that mask you putting on, that's man-made. That's not infinite. That's finite. That's gonna go away at some point. That mask gonna get heavy. That joint gonna melt away. And then you gotta hurry up and make a new one before anybody see. Nah, we want that infinite shit. I want to see who you are. What you got going on. You don't gotta act it. We literally just asked ourselves that. What do we actually like? Yeah, it's time to have that conversation. What do you like? What do you want? What do you want? And that's what's happening in our experiences. That's what's happening right in our experiences with Venus, Mercury, and Lilith. And if you be quiet and you just sit and listen, let your heart tell you. Your heart is not with a lot of shit. Your heart got a lot of doubts. It's not with a lot of shit. It got a lot going on. It got a lot of goals and aspirations that to you might seem scary, might seem too big. Like, dang, I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I gotta get out of my bedroom. I gotta go hang out with people. I gotta do this. I gotta have conversations. Yeah, you gotta do those things. Because this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. So that's that there. Then we got the 4th house. Now, the 4th house and the 3rd house are very quiet when it comes to the major celestial placements. I won't lie to you. The 4th house is in Libra. It's all about justice, fairness, law, justice, truth, and righteousness. That's what's happening in the constellations. So if y'all looking for that with the celestial body, ain't no celestial bodies in there. However, it is in the 4th house. So that should be going towards your home and family. Being in your truth. If you can't be honest nowhere, you should be able to be honest in your home. You definitely should be honest in your safe spaces. You should definitely be honest in how you nurture yourself. There should definitely be some truth and some balance and all of that in your 3rd eye. I know that's an empty space, but that leaves room for you to have those conversations with yourself there, you know? And then we have the MC line happening in Libra energy. So that's cool. Is that the MC line? I can't see. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the IC line. I should have known better because it's 4th house. That's that IC line. That's our sense of belonging. Our sense of belonging should be smooth sailing. It should be where we experience our truth at. Then the 3rd house is our community, our communication. And our events, our community and communication sitting in Virgo. All right. Gemini house and Virgo, they get along as long as you're grounded. Because I know Gemini can bring a lot of opportunities. and things like that, and it could get overwhelming for the Virgo energy. And it's just learning how to have a balance, learning how to be focused and flexible without being fickle, because Virgo just want to manifest, manifest, manifest. And if Gemini is all over the place and Virgo's trying to manifest every little thing, that's when you have all these open-ended projects, these unfinished things going on. So you want to be careful with that. But they can definitely coincide with one another, because you have a mutable air with a mutable earth to help one become flexible in that space. All right. But again, we have no major celestial bodies there in our events. It's kind of quiet in that space, and that's okay. We like quiet. Just let it be quiet for a little bit. The moon will be there shortly. Don't worry about it. And then we also have, like I said, we got planetary placements and Capricorn, not too far off. We got another placement over there, and Taurus, so in those other Earth spaces, we got transformations and progressive pushes. So it's cool to have, that mutable Earth of Virgo being quiet, because we are getting big pushes in that cardinal Earth taking initiative with Pluto and that Capricorn constellation in the seventh house of law, justice, truth, and righteousness. So Pluto is creating revolution, not revolutionary. I like revelations. Okay, revealing truths, and being a little dramatic, a little messy here with our spaces of authority, with our challenges, with how we obtain our resources. Lots of transformations happen in there, but it's there to create balance. It's there to create fairness, and it's there to tell truths about how different things are going. Like Trump had this whole TV thing. I didn't watch it yet, but I did see some cliff notes here and there or whatever. I was caught up in my infinite to-do list. I'm not sorry about that. But, I read, and eventually I will go to verify, that he had this whole thing to announce all his achievements. He went up there to gloat. We love it here. I love a good gloater. And so with that conversation he had was a beautiful example of Pluto creating transformations in that sense of authority and the challenges. This is where all the money was going. This was where all the power was going. We transferring that. High highs make low lows. Niggas was banking for mad long on that high. We had to bring it real down. You know what I'm saying? We had to bring it down real quick. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening in that seventh house. It's not always how you want it to be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't need to happen. Okay, and then we have Uranus providing those progressive pushes. Uranus is like that person that's like, I double, triple dog dare you, because I know if I double, triple dog dare you, you're going to do it. You never back down on the challenge. So Uranus is with that, in the 11th house of Aquarius. So we have that alignment between earth and air happening there. Knowledge, the thought, the ketters coming down to the earthly realm. That 1 to 10 is happening with the earth zodiacs in the air houses, if you guys see that pattern happening there. So that revolutionary, that unique and united thought of Aquarius, right, is in that fixed space. This is fixed air we're talking about, right? Aquarius is fixed air, is in that fixed earth space, So now we have this, I want to be revolutionary in my heart chakra, and what I value, what I prioritize, my balance between, my love, my emotional connectivity, and material things, right? And Uranus is pushing you. You gotta think big. Think it too small. You gotta think big, bitch. Okay? That's what Uranus is. You gotta think bigger. Think bigger. Think bigger. You want that little shit? Think bigger. Think bigger. Think bigger. Stop settling for this little shit. Bigger, 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 bigger. You don't even realize how big this shit can get. I'm about to show you. That's what Uranus in that 11th Taurus energy is doing for us. Now, when we get into the Vedic chart, Uranus is at a 4 degree in Taurus. When we get into that tropical chart, Uranus is on its way out. All right, it's actually at a 28 degree in Taurus. And at this point, yeah, it is in the 11th house, and it's at a 28 degree. It's on its way out, but it's still giving you that combination. I'm good, King. How are you, beloved? So not only is it in our mind, it's been going through our mind, because Uranus has been in Taurus since COVID, the quarantine part started, in March 2019. That was the month that we went into quarantine, and that's when the progressive pushes started. We've been getting pushed ever since then, and so now we're starting to come to the end of those pushes there in our thought process. But we're in the beginnings of those pushes and our experiences. That means that whatever this air president is doing, he ain't done yet. Pay attention to the air signs on TV. Aquarius, the ones and zeros of the internet, is also Aquarius. Pay attention to the air symbols, as above, so is below. You know what I'm saying? Um, all of that is interconnected. And that's if you want to utilize those. They call themselves stars for a reason because they are under they're under the electromagnetic field of the stars. They kind of like quote unquote sold their souls. SOL. Their solar plexus chakra is under the stars, whereas those of you guys who still have free will can look at the stars and say, hey, I'm gonna alchemize and rise above. I don't have to flow under the stars. I can be different. You know what I'm saying? I can look at what the stars are doing, look at how it affects me, and I can make a choice. Not everybody has the power to do that. Some people say, hey, I'm just gonna rep the stars. We just out here. You know what I'm saying? And that's a choice. You know what I'm saying? That's a contractual choice. Whether you did it in the last life or you came here and you got around some people and you started doing esoteric things and you signed the actual contract in this life. It's really, it is what it is. But that's there. That's what's happening there. Uranus has already made it to Gemini zodiac in the realms of the draconic chart. So the progressive pushes in our community, our communications, is already happening as an auric body. So when our thought process lines up, it's going to be a lot of eureka, aha moments, aha thoughts, being able to problem solve on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing, especially because everybody's using AI and chat GPT and stuff like that. And that's the artificial way to go about it. And the natural way to go about it is people getting better at telepathy, people getting better at, body language and communicating with nature and all the elements and stuff like that. So, I won't say that there's a line being drawn here, but yeah, there's a line being drawn here. Are you going the artificial route with these evolutions, or are you going the nature route with these evolutions? You know what I'm saying? And some of you guys are choosing both, and why not? You know what I'm saying? But that's not happening there. Uranus is already over there providing those progressive pushes in that Gemini 11th house, and we move in gratitude for it. In addition, because majority of our planets are sitting over there between the winter placements of Sagittarius and Scorpio in the Vedic chart, and or the tropical chart of Capricorn and Sagittarius. When we talked about Pluto, we know in our thoughts as well as in our auric body, Pluto is creating transformations in our Aquarius. Our Aquarius is our revolutionary self. Aquarius is our unique self, our ketters, our downloads. And a lot of our downloads are creating empowering transformations, telling us truths. A lot of you guys aren't getting your truths from reading the books or going to somebody that's in the pulpit or going to a teacher. That's what we used to do when Pluto was in Capricorn on the tropical and Vedic chart, right? The power was there. The power was in going to somebody that was sitting above you and saying, hey, help me. You know what I'm saying? But now the empowerment energy is going towards, hey, I help myself. Hey, I get the downloads. Hey, I'm in tune with my ketters. Hey, I'm on my ones. Hey, I'm on my self-mastery. Hey, I'm finding my own truths and me. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not get that this lifetime. Some people might have to wait until Pluto enters Aquarius on the Vedic chart, which is in another 15, 16 years. More power to you if you got to wait that long. Hey, Denzel. However, for those of you guys that are already on the game, because wherever this may have woken up some of your personal Aquarius charts, like my North Node is in Aquarius. So, when stuff hits Aquarius, I kind of get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And then, Aquarius is also in opposition of some of my, big, I'm a Leo rising, and I have a Jupiter in Leo. So when things hit Aquarius, it's in opposition of other planets. So it makes it easier in those spaces of my life to receive that kind of energy. And that's how you can incorporate your personal chart with what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, some of you guys gotta wait. Some of you guys might not get it this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Some of y'all gotta wait till Pluto hits all the way into Aries for y'all to finally get those transformations, because y'all got all open spaces in this place, and y'all sit in y'all bedrooms all day, so y'all not meeting no Capricorns, y'all not meeting no Aquarians, y'all not meeting no seventh house stellums, y'all not meeting these people that can help you experience this Pluto situation. You guys are hiding yourself from these interactions, so you're not getting in tune with these planets. You're only dealing with your personal stuff. And that's, if that's what you want to do, that's cool too. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, I be sitting in my room too, but I need a balance. I ain't gonna hold you. I need a balance. I can't stay in my room for so long. I start to get upset. I start to, get a little irritable. I gotta go outside. I gotta go interact with strangers. I need to go perform somewhere. I need to go vend. I need to go volunteer. You know what I'm saying? I need some stimulation. I can't sit here and do this shit all day every day. I really start to get itchy. I start getting sad. Like, bro, I gotta go outside. I gotta go outside, please. And then once I go outside, it's like, all right, I'm good for the next 2 weeks. But I need that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what works for me. You find what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's that there. And then okay, so now we're up in Pisces energy. We know that the North Node is in Pisces, right? It's in North Node. The North Node is in Pisces on the tropical chart. Draconic speaking, the North Node is in Aries, as always. The nodes are always in Aries, Libra energy. So the fact that last year it was a big deal that on tropical and Vedic chart, our North and South Node was in alignment with the Aries Libra, because it was like, oh, we're in alignment with our spiritual connection. It was a mass awakening of people on a spiritual level. You know, it got to the point where the haters were coming out and saying, "Oh my God, everybody want to have crystals, and everybody want to do this, and everybody, yeah, bro, it's literally aligned in the nodes for a mass group of people to be on this type of time. Get over it. Like, shut the fuck up. Y'all be so mad when people are doing great. I don't understand it. Um, but I really believe that there's a heavy river of sticks kind of energy in these ones and zeros. I always think of the movie Hercules, the cartoon movie, when what's the girl's name? The little girl's name? I'm saying little girl. She was a grown ass woman. When she fell into the river of Styx, and then Hercules had to go in there, and there was all these like dead bodies, and they were grabbing him, and he was getting old and shriveled up and shit. That's what I think of when I go on Facebook. I feel like a lot of these avatars are those grabbing, and it's like, if I stay here too long, I'm gonna shrivel up, and I'm gonna get old and weird looking like a Hercules was by the time he got to the river, got to the bottom of that river, bro. Let me hurry up and get the fuck up out of here. Let me come here, do what I came to do, and get out of here. But yeah, that's what I think of. That's where my mind goes. TV raised me a little bit. However, our North Node, yes, is in Pisces. It's in Aries on the draconic chart, as it always will be, because spiritually speaking, we'll always be going towards that space of new beginnings and taking action, and the chariot and being in leader cardinal energy. And our thought process on the tropical chart, the North Node is in Pisces, and that's spiritually speaking, we're going towards, Neptune rules over this. This is Akashic records. These are things hidden beneath the horizon. We're getting into the Akashic records. We're bringing some things to a close. We're bringing some beliefs to an ending. Coming into people, places, things, situations, and entities that are hidden beneath the horizon, right? We're moving towards that. And then it's also happening in the eighth house of transformations, building and destroying. More revelations happening here. And the revelations are affecting our belief system, what we believe in, our sensitivities. The empaths most definitely are coming to the forefront. I'm an energy awareness coach, I love especially to help people that are coming into their space of empathy and they feel overwhelmed by it. I'm here to help you, learn how to utilize that superpower instead of allowing that superpower to use you, because it can get very overwhelming. But that's where the North Node is there in our mindset. Now, the North Node in our piece, Amir, the North Node in our constellations is sitting in Aquarius. So in our physical experience in the events, we are physically moving towards that revolutionary energy, being unique and united, right? Getting into our ketters as a collective. People are expressing their downloads, what they individually think. It's not about thinking what everybody else thinks anymore. We don't have to do that. We never had to do that, but we believed that we did. And with the North Node still being in Pisces in the tropical chart, that gives us that equal opposite energy, that there are still some people who think that we all have to think alike, we all have to be on one accord, this is the only way that we can survive, and it's not. We can still be united and think different. I don't have to agree with everything you said for us to move as a unit, for us to be revolutionary together. A lot of people that think that we have to think on one accord usually want people to think like them. I need y'all to think like me and validate what I'm thinking and validate what I'm saying, so that we can all move in one accord. And it's like, no, we're not in that era of that anymore. That energy no longer has a pull or a power. You go where your energy is in alignment. It's not because we totally think the same. But like I said, not everybody's going to be on that type time in this lifetime or in this, space. Some people have to wait till that North Node goes somewhere else or whatever. Again, this comes to your individual clock, your personal charts. That's your clock. That's your time. That's your flow of nature. Everybody has their own clock. So you got to pay attention to what type time you on. You know what I'm saying? What time is you on? You're not on everybody's time. You're not even on this collective time. This collective time just has, like, I think about it like chemical equations. This collective time is just, is interacting with your personal time and creating chemical equations or, energetic equations accordingly. Are we combusting? Is it being codependent? Is it, am I passing you something and moving on? Or are you passing me something and I'm moving on? Like, how is this going? Things like that. Also in Pisces, as we move forward, we have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Now, Saturn, Neptune, and the vortex are already in Aries on the draconic chart. So spiritually speaking, when it comes to our challenges, right? When it comes to our dreams and the Akashic records, as well as the spiritual counsel, what's going on in the above or what's going on in the non-physical, they're already experiencing the new beginnings. They're already taking action. They're already moving things. That's why it's so easy and so important in this space and time to say, to come to the spirit guides, to do things on your altar, whether you do your altar inside or outside of yourself, it's your business. It's so easy and flow like to do those things and manifest what you want in your space. It comes like that, comes like that, comes like that. Why? Because we have Neptune and Aries right now that's making that, you dreamed it, you thought it, you did it up. The aura is already put it in your vortex. It's already in your vortex. Real fast, it's in your vortex because Aries is a cardinal fire energy. It's going to take that initiative real quick to put that in your vortex. Easy work. When Neptune was over there in Pisces, it was manifestation was a lot slower. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going that fast. Spirit wasn't responding as quick. You had to go through the dark waters. You had to do a whole bunch of stuff. Now I gotta do 45 moon rituals, and I gotta set all this stuff up, and I gotta blah 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 blah. You don't gotta do it like that totally right now in this space. You know what I'm saying? It's moving a lot faster. Tropically speaking, soon, I think it's January 26th, we'll be having Neptune move into tropically Aries. It's going to come even faster, y'all. The manifestations are going to come even faster. That's why today is so important to be on your force. What do you want? What do you for real want, bro? Because when you start speaking that stuff into existence, how fast it comes is going to be scary. And you're not even going to know how to receive it, recognize it, or nothing because your heart not in it. Figure that. So you got to be for real with yourself. What do I want? What am I willing to do for what I want? Is what I have to do worth what I want? Am I really willing to do that stuff to get what I want? Am I really willing to give up certain things, delegate certain things, remove myself from certain people, let go of certain responsibilities, be in certain spaces? Am I willing? Am I really willing to make space for these things I'm saying that I want? Because when that joint come and you don't jump on that shit, and this is what you spent your whole time manifesting, you ain't manifest nothing else, bro, you tripping. You tripping. You built the whole car and you ain't even gonna drive it? That's crazy work. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, that vortex has been so easy to get into, because Saturn is there. Saturn provides the restrictions and the challenges that's required for you to have that in your physical space. You know what I'm saying? Saturn helps bring that to fruition. It helps things take root, from Neptune being that spiritual dream, right? So we move in gratitude for that connectivity there. In our thought process, we're still in Pisces. So we're still in that spiritual waters. We still may be in that space where we feel like, okay, I gotta wait till a new moon, I gotta wait till a full moon, I gotta do the water, and I gotta take a bath, and I gotta blah, blah, blah. So in our thought process, we could still be in that space. However, spirit is responding real fast. Now when Neptune get into Aries, some of y'all are going, some of y'all are leaders. Some of y'all already on the shit. Like, I don't need no crystals, I don't need this, I need a blunt and some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all already on y'all type time. Some of y'all don't even need that no more. Like, bro, I just need me. I just need me. I don't need nothing else y'all talking about. I just let my body do what it's going to do. This is my vessel. I let my vessel take the wheel. My spirit in here. I know my vessel is so autonomous. You know what I'm saying? I've learned how to listen to it. It tells me what it needs. The same way you get in a car and the lights show up on the dashboard, like, need an oil change, need to fix this, need to get the tires done, the tire pressure level. You got that same dashboard in your body. You just gotta learn how to sit and listen, right? Some of y'all on that type time, you already know how to sit and listen, and that's cool. We like it here. Now, what's happening in our experiences, Saturn and Neptune and the vortex is actually at the cardinal point of Pisces. They just getting started in our experiences. So on the physical level, our body, like, Earth moves the slowest. First of all, this right here is only like 1% of your whole existence. This is the 1%. This is the 1%. Everybody was talking about, it's the 1%. It's the 1%. Yeah, this is the 1%. This is the 1% right here. Everything else is all around. Your aura is so big. Your light is so big, and it's not just around you. It's in you. It's through you. That's why when you break down, when you get into the atomic theory and everything's built by atoms, when you break down the atom is nothing. This is everything and nothing. I have all the elements and the minerals and all that shit from stardust to the continents to the animals. It's all in me. It's everything. And then when you break it down, it's absolutely the fuck nothing. And it's the 1%. But to us, it's everything, because this is what we came down to experience ourselves as. Isn't that crazy? I love science. So in our earthly experience, we on that type of time. Basically, in a nutshell, we're still in that Pisces energy of going through the rituals and the processes, and we're also more so connected towards each other, more so wanting to go, not wanting to, but our experiences, the challenges in our experience are more so spiritual. They're more so about our sensitivities, how we feel, what our intuition is saying, what our gut is saying. That is the biggest thing right now. What our challenges with Saturn. That is the biggest. Everybody's paying attention. I don't care if you're spiritual. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care what the fuck you are. Everybody's listening to their gut. Everybody's listening to their intuition. Everybody listens to the voices in their head. Everybody's listening to their vibrations and how their vibrations is in alignment with other people. You might have a different jargon for it. You might have a different mindset about it because of who you are. But everybody is on that type of time right now with those placements sitting in there and Pisces like that. All right? Those are the experiences. It's in our vortex. Everybody that you attract is on purpose. It's on purpose. It's all energy. It's all energy at this point. At one point, it was about intellect. We go to the same school. We go to the same college. We have the same interests. We have the same thoughts. We're in the same club. We're in the same extracurricular activities. That's what it used to be once upon a time, yeah? It ain't like that no more. Now, where are you at spiritually? What's your moral code? What's your intuition? And then sometimes it ain't even like that. Sometimes you just run into people and you're like, bro, your energy mad familiar. I don't know why I feel so comfortable right now. You look like, what is this? Like, I literally was just having that conversation and you popped up. I literally was just going through this and then you posted that. And I was like, that's Pisces. What you talking about? That's Pisces. That's the spiritual connectivity. That's what it's about right now. So that's where we at with those placements there on the tropical Vedic and Draconic chart. And then we have Chiron, poor baby Chiron. Chiron deals with our wounds. How are we dealing with our wounds? And how are we transmuting our wounds into a strength? Right? And in our physical experience, our wounds are still in Pisces of what we believe and what we're holding on to. Now, Saturn, Neptune, and our vortex is in the cardinal space of Pisces, while Chiron is over here at 28 degrees. So it's on its way out. We're almost in that space where we're about to have new beginnings in our wounds. However, some of us are still holding on to those beliefs Hollywood fed us about our wounds, our generational curses, our generational wounds, and the Negro spirituals and all this different stuff we've been holding on to because an illusion was created for us and constantly repeated in books and movies through agents and museums and art, and all that shit was creating illusions and keeping this illusion alive, these human origin stories alive. And a lot of that shit wasn't true. And I say that because the only truth is the present. The only truth is now. And once that Chiron enters Aries, now what I just said might be triggering to some of y'all that's still with that Chiron in Pisces. How could you say that? How dare you say that? Our ancestors. I feel it. I feel you. I know. I just said some bullshit just now. Now when Chiron enters Aries, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. All we got right now is now. We've been lied to so much by so many people, and not always intentionally. Some people really thought they were telling the truth, just how the initial debunk was the church. But let's be fucking for real. Our grandparents didn't know how to read. People didn't know how to read, let alone have reading comprehension skills. I can read stuff and not comprehend what the fuck I'm reading. Shit, it's people in school right now that don't have reading comprehension skills. You understand what I'm saying? So not everybody was lying from a malicious standpoint. Some people just legit didn't know no better. But it created generations of people flowing into that belief, acting out on those beliefs. And a lot of them were rooted in wounds. We're trauma bonding. We're trauma bonding in our community. We're trauma bonding in our culture. We're trauma bonding in our art, in our expression. We're trauma bonding in our books. We're trauma bonding in our history. It's just trauma all the time, all the time. What do you want to trauma bond on today? You want to trauma bond as a woman? You want to trauma bond as a black woman? You want to trauma bond as a American, a Native American woman? You want to trauma bond as an African woman? What do you want to trauma bond about today? That's all everybody's doing. It's trauma. It hurt. And a lot of that is all illusions. It was all some shit made up. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Y'all don't gotta believe me now, but mark my words, on December 19th, give yourselves about 2 years. You're gonna come back to this moment and be like, bro, what the fuck? I promise you. And I've had this conversation with people many years ago that was trying to come to me with that Pisces bullshit, that Chiron and Pisces bullshit. And I was like, bro, come back to me in 3 years, 4 years. And they came back 3-4 years later like, yo, I just want to apologize to you. I know. If anybody knows, sunshine know, baby. I know. That's why I give people grace. And my love is unconditional. Whenever you ready to wrap your mind around what the fuck I'm saying, you'll be back. I'm an oracle. I know I does this. I does this, okay? That Chiron is next to the MC line. So once y'all master that shit and what I just said, stop triggering you, you gonna be successful. You got this. I believe in you, okay? What we got is now the trauma bonding must cease because a lot of it is illusions from Hollywood. Hollywood is literally the wood that is used to create illusions, to create magic wands that create illusions. And majority of your information is from Hollywood. And Hollywood ain't nothing but the circus that's created by the government. They get government checks, okay, to create a narrative that we have been trauma ponding on. Even in these ones and zeros, a lot of these people are receiving government checks to keep the trauma bonding going, to keep the narrative going. And we just feeding it, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it. You right, you right, you right. Because it gives us a sense of comfort, doesn't it? And so, also, spiritually speaking, on that draconic chart, Chiron has already moved up to Taurus. So, spiritually speaking, Chiron is already healing those wounds in our material self, our materialistic self, what's going on in our heart, the calluses in our heart. All right. What we value, what we prioritize, our self-esteem, all that stuff. So, Chiron is already like, all right, y'all keep dealing with that shit over there in Pisces and y'all physical experience. Some of y'all are already in Chiron and Aries on y'all thoughts. Y'all already being, taking that initiative, being that leader, riding that chariot. I'm proud of y'all. I'm about to go work on the materials. We ain't done yet because y'all materialistic self needs some healing too. A lot of y'all are hoarders and y'all accumulate a bunch of shit, especially y'all be sitting on these I sit on TikTok and I gotta buy everything on TikTok and my house gotta look the way some of these people houses look and I gotta have the latest cars and I gotta brag about how many pieces of debt note pieces of paper I fucking hoarded in my space, all that different shit, right? Chiron is already in Taurus on the draconic chart to heal all of that. Don't worry, the transformations is coming. Then moving forward, we already talked about Uranus. And then we can get into Jupiter, and then we're done with this new moon energy. I'm gonna bring out to the next drawing. So Jupiter is all about expansion and abundance, joy, philosophy, philanthropy, the sacral chakra, our sensual stuff. We love sensuality. I love to please my senses, right? Jupiter is over there in Cancer in our thought process. So it's all about safe spaces, expanding my safe spaces, expanding my home and family, expanding my nurturing self, how I want to be nurtured, finding joy in that. You know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't you want to find joy in that stuff? Some of those things is coming to an end though, because this is happening in the 12th house. 12th house is that space of endings. Some of this is a spiritual connection that we've been tethering yourself to, because the 12th house Pisces makes space for us to enter that first house of Aries, right? We're actually at a 22 degree in our mindset with Jupiter expanding on that Cancer energy. So yeah, really expanding yourself in your comfort zone and having wisdom and you're using your intuition there too, because Cancer rules over your third eye. Cancer symbol is the 6-9. 6 is how you manifest in the physical. 9 is how you manifest in the celestial womb, right? You got the celestial womb and you got the physical harvest, and you put those together and you got the 6-9. You got, people keep talking about 6-7, bitch, it's 6-9. That's how you manifest in the above and the below, right? And Jupiter wants you to expand more on that. I want you to learn more how you give birth in the physical and in the non-physical at the same time. I want you to find wisdom in that, where you're at spiritually and how it manifests in the physical for you. Some of y'all spirits ain't right and you wonder why, I manifest shallow shit. Yeah, because your spirit only allows you to manifest shallow shit. It's not going to let you manifest nothing else outside of that. You're not going to be able to manifest things that satisfy certain senses of yourself that go beyond, what I eat, what I drink, what I drive, and having sex. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets boring real quick. But if your spirit, you got to get your spirit right so you can do more than that. So you can attract more than that, But that's all happening there. And then Jupiter and our physical experience is in Gemini. So We're experiencing this through our community, our communication. It's giving this energy back to us to show us. You know, some of y'all getting tired. Hey, who's dope? Hey, love. Some of us are getting tired of the people that we around. Bro, y'all don't be talking about shit. All y'all do is gossip. You know, y'all don't, when I got some real like spiritual, emotional shit going on that I'm real happy about, y'all don't share my happiness. Y'all don't share my joy. Y'all don't share my excitement. Y'all ain't even on that type of time. You know, you get tired of that shit. I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to grow. I want a different community. I want different opportunities. I want to, little tri-city, traveling situation. Um, I want to be able to be flexible in more spaces. You know, this is mutable air. I want different thoughts. You know, that's all that there. That's all. That's all Gemini is doing in your experience. Gemini is doing for your Jupiter in your experience. It's time to expand. It's all right. Them people will be all right. Eventually, you might influence them to expand. Spiritually speaking, Jupiter is over there in Leo energy, so it's already in the spotlight of expanding. Creativity, that inner child energy, being in the world, wonderlust. Your romantic self. That heart. Where's your heart at? Expanding on your heart, how you really feel about things. I'm about to have my Jupiter return this year. Just a little bragging about it. Not only am I about to enter the year of horse, your girl horse, but I'm also entering my Jupiter return this year. You know what I'm saying? We love it here. But that's what Jupiter is doing in Leo. It's expanding, your creativity, your romantic self. What is you want in your space. But yeah, in right now, in the meantime, in between time, deal with that Jupiter and Gemini. And that's how we started the new moon. We started the new moon real nice. You know what I'm saying? We're starting this moon cycle off very well. We got a triangle happening. At the top of the triangle, we got Saturn and Neptune at the top of that triangle. All right. We know triangles like to create. It's fun here. Hey Casper, how you doing? And then at the bases of the triangle, we have Uranus providing those progressive pushes in Taurus. And then we have either in Taurus or spiritually speaking in Gemini in the community. And we have Pluto over there providing transformations in Aquarius and how we think, you know what I'm saying, our revolutionary thoughts, as well as in Capricorn on our physical experience, authority, challenges, quote unquote traumas, you know what I'm saying? And then in Aquarius on our Draconic chart. So we have these progressive pushes and these transformations happening in our physical realm, while Saturn is up there with Neptune providing, understanding of our dreams and what's happening in the above. This is a nice correlation of the above and below. So that's a beautiful triangle for my spellcasters out there. You guys want to use that triangle, you're more than welcome to. We definitely will be using this triangle indirectly tomorrow in our cleansing and manifesting through the Netaroos, if y'all want to join me tomorrow night. So listen, by the time we get to the next new moon, hopefully I fly through this sign a whole lot faster. We'll see. But everything is pretty much on the same side. So we get to the next new moon on January 18th. Just to give you guys some highlights of what's happening. Lilith will be entering the Sagittarius zodiac on Saturday. Lilith deals with our revolutionary self. Sagittarius zodiac is our sensual, joyous thoughts. Venus enters the Sagittarius constellation, so our heart chakra is going to start experiencing some of that expansion, abundance, and joy based upon whatever we allow it to be. You guys know the winter solstice will be on the 21st. That's going to be at 9:04 a.m. The sun will reach the lowest declination. So the sun will be at its lowest during this current solar cycle. And this is the shortest day of the year because of it. And then we'll start to get more sunlight as the sun starts to go back up on its ascending node. The same thing that the moon goes through on a 28 day. It takes the sun 365 days to do the same thing. The sun's a little slower. All right. On the 22nd, we got the moon and Pluto over there. Transformations happening in our third eye. The sun will be entering Capricorn zodiac. So our experiences, the thought process on our experiences is now going to be on those challenges, taking initiative in our earthly realm. Slow and steady wins the race. It's still wintertime, y'all. I know we're getting more sunlight, but it's still wintertime. In fact, we just started wintertime. Relax. Then Venus enters the Capricorn zodiac on the 24th. And so our heart chakra will also be on that slow and steady, winning the race. Some challenges that'll happen to how we feel, what we value, what we prioritize, coming to a sense of understanding of the limitations and the restrictions that have to occur for us to design what we desire in our space. And we love it there, right? Also, some other highlights is on the 27th, the moon in Ceres will be at minimal angle. Ceres is the asteroid that deals with agriculture, mother daughter connectivity. What are you willing to do for what you love and what you want in your space? And so, having some intuition of, you know, coming to the question what I say, what are you willing to do for what it is you say that you want? Because some of y'all be playing with yourselves and I don't understand. We have a triangle on the 28th with Chiron, which is our celestial wound healer, and Aries, which is like our feminine Aries energy, new beginnings, a chariot energy, with our moon. And that's all happening in Aries zodiac. Mercury will be entering the Sagittarius constellation on the 29th. All right, so now we have our throat chakra, harvesting joy, what brings us joy into our space. So by the time you get to the 29th, y'all should be able to, all y'all might, all y'all heart, with your tongue, confess what y'all desire, what y'all want, what brings you joy, long-term planning, just in time for y'all Janus New Year's, because Janus is the deity of transformations. So y'all speak it what y'all desire in time for that month to begin. We do have a Sagittarius constellation lineup on the 30th. We'll have Mercury at 0 degrees Sagittarius constellation. Then we'll have Juno, which is like a Hera energy. What do we need on our relationships to want to stay in it forever and ever and be kind of obsessive with it? Then we have Venus, our heart chakra, there at an 11 degree, mastering our heart chakra over there in Sagittarius. The sun will be at 13 degrees, giving us our experiences. Mars, our motivation, will be at 16 degrees. And then Vesta will be at 28 degrees. Vesta deals with our passion. Again, the Sagittarius lineup also like heavy demand on what the fuck do you want? What do you want? And if it doesn't bring you joy, you don't want that shit. So stop saying you want some shit that's not bringing you joy. I know I gotta do what I gotta do. I get that. I get the mantra. But that's not what the fuck you want. So that's not what we're talking about right now. Some of y'all be making up New Year's resolutions of shit that y'all don't really fucking want. That's why by the time we get to March, y'all not even doing that shit no more. You're not passionate about that. That's not what you really want. That's not what you really desire. That's not what makes your heart skip. Not everybody wants to lose weight. That's why by the time March comes, you back to eating donuts again and you stop going to the gym because that's not what you want. That's not what you want. And that's okay. Be you. Shit, we need big backs. The fuck? Everybody can't look the same. Y'all keep playing with yourselves. Just be saying shit. That lineup gonna tell on you. By the time we get to the 31st, the moon and Uranus will be in connectivity. The moon and Pleiades will also be in connectivity over there in the Taurus constellation. So progressive pushes to your third eye and those 7 wounded sisters. Then Mercury enters the Capricorn zodiac on January 1st. So now our throat chakra is speaking into existence. Our level of understanding, the discipline and order that's required. So hopefully y'all will speak in joy and follow all along. The sun enters Draconic Aquarius on the 2nd. So our spiritual, energy, the experiences of our spiritual self will be entering that revolutionary energy, being unique and united. You feel your spirit pull you into spaces. Then, so the comet 24P will be the smallest distance to Earth at 11:51 p.m. on January 3rd. Whoever wanted the answer to that question. The sun will also be the smallest distance to Earth on that day at 9:56 p.m. The moon will be, that's also the day of the full moon. So there's a lot going on the full moon day. Full moon will be at 4:04 a.m. the moon will be in that Gemini constellation with Castor and Pollux, and also Jupiter. So expansions and abundance and joy and happiness and philanthropy and philosophy, optimism, all that pop in there, and opportunities upon opportunities, opportunities. So when them planets is in alignment on the 30th, I hop on that joint because Gemini will be right around the corner. You know, that's a square. And y'all know I love my 90-degree angles. Some of y'all hear square and y'all lose y'all fucking mind. But squares, we build on squares. So build on that square. All right? Because as soon as the moon hits Gemini, you know, you can make shit. Opportunities, communities coming in response to that. The sun will be the smallest distance to Earth at that time. Gemini constellation will be in opposition to the sun. The comet will be the smallest distance to the Earth. So getting some of those communities and communication that'll come will be like ancestral, you know, Akashic record bound, spiritual, more spiritual than it is physical experience. The Venus, Venus and the Sun will be at 12 degrees Capricorn constellation, so they'll be on top of each other. Karma will be going direct because you know Karma has been in retrograde, slowing down. And that karma is an Aries zodiac, so you know, experiencing those new beginnings. And then it's also in Pisces constellation, so in the physical space, experiencing endings in the spiritual realm. And then Venus will be entering Draconic Aquarius. So January 3rd is a big day. It's a big cosmic day. A lot of cosmic shifts happening. It's okay to take a nap. What else do I want to give y'all? Mercury will be entering Draconic Aquarius on January 9th. So now we have the spiritual energy of Mercury and that revolutionary energy, and we like it there. We got some triangles coming up, but I'll wait till we get closer to those. So they're refreshing your mind when we chat about them. Venus will be entering the Capricorn constellation on January 12th. All right, so we'll have that transit happening. And now your heart chakra is all dealing with the discipline and restrictions. You know, now the designs can really come into a space of understanding, which is cool because that'll be that's a day of understanding. 12, 1 and 3. The sun will enter Capricorn constellation on the 14th. So now our experiences, the events of our experiences will now be on that, you know, discipline and restrictions and, you know, challenges happening to create what it is that we desire. On the 15th, Mars will be entering the Capricorn constellation as well. So the sun and Mars are pretty close. So Mars is also having its new phase or whatever. Then on the 16th, we have another lineup in Capricorn. Well, this is Capricorn zodiac, but also Capricorn constellation too, because the sun is in Capricorn constellation, Venus is in Capricorn constellation, and Mars is in Capricorn constellation. But these other two planets are still in Sagittarius. Mercury is still in Sagittarius constellation, and Juno is still in Sagittarius constellation. But let's talk about Capricorn zodiac. Mindset is on Capricorn right now, all up in the root chakra, level of understanding. You know, what are we rooting ourselves in? The sun is giving us our experiences at a 26th degree. Mercury is giving us that ability to harvest, manifest, communication in a 22nd degree. Venus is giving us that heart chakra energy of what we value, what we wish to design at a 28th degree. Mars is giving us that ambition, that motivation, and that trigger at 24 degrees. And then Juno is like, what do you need to obsess over this shit? What are we obsessing over? Like, you know, because honestly, with sun is the third eye, Mercury is the throat chakra, Venus is the heart chakra, Mars is the solar plexus chakra. Yeah, you're gonna have to be real passionate about this shit. You're gonna have to be a Hera level, Juno level, obsessed about this shit if you're gonna put all them chakras into what it is you're trying to do. That's an awesome day. January 16th is an awesome day for a chakra alignment, you know, manifesting what you want to do. Then on the 17th, we still have the Capricorn lineup happening, but now we have the moon coming into the mix. All right. So now the moon is in alignment with that Capricorn lineup as we get ready for the new moon energy. Venus will enter Aquarius zodiac on the 17th as well. So being revolutionary in that heart chakra, being unique. And then Mercury will be entering the Capricorn constellation. So harvesting, manifesting, especially with that lineup. We love it there. Then on the 18th, we're officially in the new moon at 1:53 p.m. The moon will also be in alignment with Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto will officially have those conjunctions and minimal angles on that day too. So not only is it a new moon, but we're going through the chakras with the moon. So that's pretty dope. And that's a really dope day. The 16th, 17th, and 18th is a nice like open chakra day. Definitely. Right? And then the sun enters Aquarius zodiac on the 20th. And so now we're, our thought process is on revolutionary experiences after that whole chakra opening situation. And then Mercury enters Aquarius zodiac as well. So they've been in alignment. Venus and Pluto will also be at minimal angle and conjunction. And Vesta will be also in alignment with them. They'll be like on top of each other somewhat. Venus and Pluto will be at 3 degrees aqua, and Vesta will be at 4 degrees aqua. So, the three of them, hanging out. Vesta deals with our passions, Venus deals with our heart, Pluto deals with our obsessions, our dramatics, what empowers us, right? So, it's really nice. January is really nice for empowering yourself and activating your chakras. On the 23rd of January, Mars will enter Aquarius zodiac, and on the 26th of January, like I said, Neptune enters the Aries zodiac. So, that is for the astronomical report. Now, let's talk about this next new moon, and then I will see y'all out of here. Let's see how fast we can fly through this joint. We do have another triangle happening here. A triangle and a heavy opposition next new moon, right? So the new moon opposition will literally be the moon in opposition to Jupiter, right? The moon will be at 24 degrees Capricorn, and Jupiter will be at 24 degrees Gemini. And so like it's not like an exact, opposition, but it's pretty much opposition. Somewhat of it at best. And so Jupiter is bringing that joy and that expansion in the community, while the moon is over there in Capricorn. You kind of rooting, setting roots. So you might want to do something with the community around that time in your physical experience. In the mindset, the moon is still in Capricorn while Jupiter is over there in Cancer. That's where the opposition is coming from for real, with Jupiter over there in Cancer. And so, that expansion, that abundance, the wisdom is coming from that 6-9 energy, the third eye energy, that's the moon's home space. So, heavy on the spiritual experience. What's the mathematics? It's 9-1. Oh, it's a day of 1. Hey, it's a day of 1. 9-1-1. Okay, cool. We love it here. No, yeah. Yeah, it's 9. It's a day of 9. So actually, this is a day of mastery, because we'll be in the year of 1. So 911. Yeah. Okay. So this is a day of mastery. We like it here. We like the numbers. And so yeah. So that opposition is pretty cool. We like it there. Now like I said, everything is on the same side. So we have the moon, Mercury, Mars, and the sun, and Venus and Pluto all over there in Capricorn constellation during the new moon. And it's going through the 9th house, which is the Sagittarius house of expansion and abundance and joy, philanthropy, and all that stuff like that. And it even crosses over to the 10th line. So engaging in this alignment is, it brings you to a space of success. And that's pretty cool. So we got the third eye, the solar plexus chakra, the throat chakra. We got the left and the right side of the third eye chakra, the heart chakra, and then Pluto is like Daf to me, but that extra chakra over there. And so all of that is happening in our Capricorn of, planting the seeds and the different challenges required to strengthen us and our seeds in that space. And then spiritually speaking, all of those placements are in Aquarius. So it's all about being revolutionary. Again, all of that. We all got to do the same thing. We all got to want the same thing. It's cool to find people that align with your vibration, But if you're forcing, the details of your desires to match other people, you're not truly in alignment. Be yourself, because all them planets is going to be in draconic energy. You're not doing yourself, I mean, draconic, yeah, it's going to be in draconic energy, but it's all going to be in Aquarius on the draconic side. So you're not doing yourself a service if you try to blend in with everybody else, all right? Um, then we have the North Node over there in Aquarius constellation and Pisces zodiac. So we're our North Node is now moving us towards a space of being revolutionary, being unique, and our mindset. And this happening at an 11 degree in our mindset with the beliefs of Pisces energy, bringing things into an ending and stuff like that. So we are mastering those illusions. We're mastering our sensitivities and things of that nature in our mindset. While in our activities, we are being unique. So hopefully you guys are flowing into that by the next new moon. Then we have in the Vedic chart, we have Saturn and Neptune still in Pisces constellation, still giving us those limitations and restrictions and our sense of understanding, helping us, bring our dreams, our sensitivities and our emotions into the Bina, to come into the physical realm. And so that's still happening over there in the Vedic chart, and it's happening in the 11th house, Aquarius house, still pulling on us to be revolutionary. You see how all this energy is pulling us into Aquarius? It's time to be different. It's time to be in your ketters. It's time to be your own light. It's time to be in your air. All right? Be a little different. And then we have Chiron over there in Pisces constellation as well. At this point, it's at a 29 degree. Finding truth, harmony, and balance with that 9, which you give birth to with the moons, and that sensitivity, which is a space of mastery, because 2 plus 9 is 11. So that's that mastery degree. 29 degree is not an easy degree to be in, but we're going to be in there. And so it's time to master those wounds and those delusions at this point. Like, bro, you can't keep walking around acting like a wounded animal. At some point in time, you have to be accountable for the things that you keep allowing yourself to go through. Somebody has said to me, and I thought that shit, like, spoke so much to me. Like, you are not responsible for your trauma is not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. And if you keep walking around with that Chiron and this person did me like this and that person did me like that and this did me and you're not being accountable for your current reality that you're creating, because you're too busy sitting in those wounds, those delusions of those wounds, because you're not even putting into account of that other person, what that other person was going through and how they were being used and what kind of day they was having and what kind of lifestyle they have and woo wop. You just created this illusion that person was out to get me and it's me and it's like, bro, get out of that illusion. Get out of that illusion. It's not serving you. It's not serving you. I'm not saying start to create an all love and light scenario, because that's still being in an illusion. Just stop. Just fucking stop. No more illusions. You don't have to paint no more pictures. You don't have to paint a good picture. You don't have to paint a bad picture. Just stop painting. Don't paint nothing. Just move the fuck on. Like, Jesus Christ. Y'all know how to hold on to some bullshit. But that's okay. We're getting out of the age of Pisces. It's all right. I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna get out of there. In addition, we have, and like I said, that's happening in 11th house. Chiron will be over there at a 22 degree, the master architect energy of Aries in that 11th house. So that's pretty cool. In our mindset, we will be, mastering that chesed, that celestial blueprint of the new beginnings we wish to create with how we're transmuting our wounds, and the strength we're coming from it. And like I told you, Chiron has already made its way to Taurus energy to actually be at the degree of mastery, 11 degrees in Taurus in 11th house. So it's in that degree of mastery, it's entered that first degree of the fixed zodiac energy of Taurus, draconic Taurus. So we want to transmute some wounds in that material self and what we value in that self-esteem and all that fun stuff. So that's cool for Chiron. Chiron is in a good space. We like it here. The place of fortune will be like real close to Uranus. So where Uranus is providing progressive pushes at, which is in the constellations of Taurus, still is creating those progressive pushes and what we value, what we prioritize, what we want to design in our space. That moral code that's attached to what we value and prioritize. Because some of y'all is willing to do some nutty shit for some material stuff or for some love. You know what I'm saying? And we also see that in these quote unquote celebrities, these stars. What are they willing to go through? What are they willing to put up with for love? You know, some people really like, they really be putting it on. Or what are they really willing to go through or put up with for some money? You know what I'm saying? For these things, you know, Uranus is pushing you out of, bro. You don't have to go through all of that. You can be yourself. You can be in your authenticity. You could do what you desire. I'm gonna keep pushing y'all out of this shit until y'all realize, like, it's you. It's you. You're forcing yourself to do stuff you don't want to do. You're forcing yourself to put up with people that you shouldn't be putting up with. You're forcing yourself to put up with things you don't deserve to put up with, just to say you got love, just to say you got a person, just to say you have a community, you got friends, you got family, you got money, you got a car, it's you. It's you. So you're providing progressive pushes up out of that, hopefully, and if you flow into that, you'll be real close to that fortune energy as well. So the fortune is coming to you, and that's in the tropical as well as in the Vedic. Now, draconically speaking, it's in the community. That spiritual community is about to pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? They're getting ready to pull up on you. You're probably appearing in some people's dreams. You're appearing in some people's thought process. They hear your voice. Some shit that I'm saying is about to be a download to somebody tomorrow, you know. So the few people probably that not even gonna watch this live, but they gonna wake up with my voice in their head, and they probably gonna write a post about some shit I just said, and somebody gonna see it and be like, "Yo, Sunshine just said that shit last night, and now I'm seeing it over here. Let me share this shit to Sunshine." Like that's how that shit. That's how that shit happens. That's exactly how that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? That's that draconic chart in Gemini. So we love it there. At least I do. I love those different connections. I be seeing that shit. I love patterns. Y'all know. And then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is over there in the second house, towards that house of monies, towards that house of wealth, material and emotional wealth, and providing expansion there, abundance there. Now Jupiter is in the Gemini constellation, providing that expansion and abundance and the the material versus emotional um, opportunities and things like that in our community and communications. Jupiter is still over there providing expansion and the balance between what we harvest in the physical and in a celestial womb and Cancer. And then Jupiter is also in Aries, Leo, excuse me, and Leo draconically. So spiritually, we are in that inner child. We are in that thespian, excuse me, creative, artistic energy, that inner child energy. We love it there. And so being in your inner child, being your inner artist, and also bringing yourself around a sense of community that shows the same moral and value code in the realms of love and material things will do you very well. We have the South Node over there, our comfort zone, sitting in Leo energy on the constellation space, and that's happening in the fourth house of home and family and nurturing that inner child. At this point, you guys should be very comfortable with nurturing that inner child. And our mindset, that comfort zone is coming from our intellect, that Virgo energy, our, how we schedule ourselves in those habits, in our home space. And the Draconic chart, spiritually speaking, that South Node is over there in Libra energy, calling on justice, fairness, balance, as within, so as without. Then we have the vertex happening in the fifth house of Leo. So where you are with your inner child, where you are with your creative energy, all that stuff. Hey, all gas, no brakes. What's up with you? That's what you'll attract in your space. That's what's going to be in your vertex. And it's going to be things that you applicate on a daily routine, on a daily basis. And our mindset, that vertex is going to be, it's Capricorn. Oh, hey, Capricorn. And Capricorn, our mindset, that vertex is going to be in Libra. So it is about interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. Some of y'all is going to be about love. And, Libra deals a lot with marriage, that different type of, relationship. But definitely interpersonal relationships, nonetheless, your inner romantic self. And in our physical experiences, it's going to be like, okay, well, if that's where your mindset is, what are you doing on a daily basis to get it? You think you're going to get that shit from sitting in your crib, not talking to nobody? It's up to you. Um, Glad you are doing well. I am. How are you? How's everything going? Also, happy Capricorn season. I don't know if I missed your birthday or not, but if I did, happy belated, love. And then the sixth house is an open body here, just like the third house is. The three and the six, they're open spaces. 1223. Oh, okay, we not there yet. So the sixth house in our experiences is in balance and fairness, justice and truth, and things like that. How we applicate that on a daily basis. So you might want to find somebody with some Libra placements or whatever. And if you got Libra placements, try to fill that gap. I don't know. And then we have Lilith over there in the seventh house. So, just cause, so we don't have anything in the Libra's constellation, but that's okay because Lilith is over there in the Libra house on the Vedic chart. So it's still that primordial energy, that revolutionary energy, and what justice and truth is like. And it's undergoing transformations. So by the time the next new moon comes, it might be like, that feel like some it's giving like Disney villain type of shakeup happening. um Something definitely is gonna happen. Something's definitely gonna happen with Lilith and Scorpio towards the seventh house. I'm telling you. Something's definitely gonna invoke people to do something that we normally wouldn't be in that quote unquote Puritan law abiding citizen level of obedience. We're definitely going to break through with that Lilith placement, and it's in the 9 degree in the constellation space, which is pretty interesting. It'll be at 21 degrees in Sagittarius in the seventh house on the draconic chart. So it's providing that expansion and abundance, and it's working on the philanthropy on a spiritual level on that justice. It'll be at a 3 degree Sagittarius zodiac, so still in that space, all right, of expansion and abundance and being in your sensual self with that justice. So it is gonna bring us joy. Somebody gonna be like cackling the whole time. I heard Ursula laughing. That witch cackling gonna be cackling all the time. It's gonna be real fun. But it's definitely gonna be heavily transformational and opening up and stuff like that. Hey JB, where I've been high. I ain't been out of nowhere. I been in my bubble. I started coming out a couple days ago. So I had a feeling. I knew. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fly through this next moon because everything is so much aligned, and I already talked about it in the astronomical forecast. So, that's the lineup, y'all. That's how the lineup is gonna be. We got heavy. It's gonna be real heavy up there in Capricorn Aquarius. So, root chakra energy is gonna be very, very important because you're gonna need to be in tune with your root chakra. So I know we know about the chakras, but all your chakras have chakras, right? Yes, poor unfortunate soul. That's my favorite song. To all my beat makers and producers out there, I need that song sampled so I just need that joint sampled. And I like that Knife Wonder type of vibe in my beats. So like let me get that. Let me get that Knife Wonder type poor unfortunate soul situation so I can do a song. Hey Luciano, how you doing, love? So yeah, so all your chakras have chakras. You're an infinite being. You're like what is that, the Russian doll? The chakras have chakras that have chakras that have chakras. You hear me? So, you know, get into the root chakra of your chakras. Get into the root of your third eye. Get into the root of your throat chakra. Get into the root of your heart chakra. Get into the root of your solar plexus chakra. Get into the root of all these spaces. The root chakra is ruled by Saturn. The internal side of the root chakra is Aquarius, which is that revolution, Ketter's energy, that initial light. And the external side of that root chakra is ruled by Capricorn, the challenges, the experience of quote unquote traumas, that occur as a response to that air. Okay. Into those spaces of those chakras, you're going to be so ready for this day of mastery and this new moon energy and this planetary lineup that's going to be lined up for like a few days prior to even the new moon happening. And then, like I said, we got those celestial transits and stuff happening right after that. So that's going to be a really nice time from the 16th to the 20th. It's going to be a really fire time. And it's all leading up to Neptune hopping into that space of new beginnings for us in our mindset. All right, let me give y'all reading out of here. That was fun, right? We had that in vision as well 3 days ago. The alignment of the alignments. Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening. It's the alignments of the alignments. And now it's like really time to get into the root chakras of all the chakras. And, really look at what's supposed to be there and what's not. Because when Neptune enters Aries, it's really going to call on you like, bro, y'all had so much time to let go of so many things. And Neptune will still be in Pisces constellation. So it's going to, even though your mind is going to be on those new beginnings, your energy exchanges is still going to be on that Pisces energy. However, it's going to get harder to be in those energy exchanges if you in alignment with that Neptune and Aries in your mindset. It's gonna get harder. A lot of those illusions just not gonna, like, it just doesn't feel good to be here. I don't want to think like this. I don't want to have these conversations with y'all. This shit is like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna get like that. It's gonna be that strong. Like, it's just not gonna be with a lot of stuff that you was with once upon a time, and that is okay. Use this next week or so to really get in tune with your sensual self. Jupiter is about your senses and not just the basic 5 on your physical body. This is literally just the 1%. And this 1% really only has one sense, and that's touch. You just experience touch differently on different parts of your body. When you touch stuff with your tongue, you're tasting it. When you touch stuff with your nose, you're smelling it. When you touch stuff with your eyes, you're seeing it. When you touch stuff with your ears, you're hearing it. You touch stuff with your hands, you're feeling it. Then when you touch stuff with your energy or your aura, now you have that 6th sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really just touch here. You know what I'm saying? What are we touching? what's being touched? What does it feel like when we touch it? Do we like the touch? Do we not like the touch? Do we want more touches like this? Like, what is it? I felt the heart chakra of my earth star chakra awaken, release, and connect with Sister Gaia core. That's far. I can agree with that, especially like being in alignment with Amore so often that eventually it becomes like a regular occurrence. You know what I'm saying? That's good though. That's real good. Being in alignment with Earth is very important. Just make sure we're being in alignment with Earth with our authentic self. Make sure that Earth is feeling our alignment as well, not just us feeling Earth. You know what I'm saying? That's a big one. Oh, and did I tell you we had a whole triangle happening, right? Like all of those planets that's aligned in the moon, the sun, Mars, Mercury, not Neptune, Venus, and Pluto. They're all on one side base of a triangle. You can use all of those, and then on the other side base of the triangle, you have Uranus and the Fortune providing progressive pushes. Whether depending on what chart you're talking about, but it's either in Taurus or it's in Aries. And then at the top of the triangle, like usual, we have Neptune and Saturn providing the restrictions and limitations to our dreams to implant them and give us a sense of understanding of them. So that's a fire ass triangle. I ain't gonna hold you. And then Jupiter, like, bitch, don't forget about me. I'm in opposition over here. With the moon. And then Lilith is also it's about a 6-degree difference because Lilith will be at 9 degrees Scorpio, but Uranus is at a 3 degrees Taurus. So they're not super opposition, but if you want to do a little shine, Lilith will be right there too. You can make a little cross situation, little X situation underneath that triangle between Uranus and Lilith, and then the moon and Jupiter if you want to include everybody, let everybody get a little inclusion situation. That's a nice little situation right there. The planetary lineup for the next new moon is going to start the next new moon cycle. Really dope. And then that's also the beginning of Ramadan. That's also the Lunar New Year. That's how we're entering the year of the horse. Don't forget, the year of the motherfucking horse is coming, y'all. And when I do my 2026 planetary forecast, because I'm still getting my notes in order for that. I'm sorry, my to-do list be so long. And now I'm trying to make money with my gifts. So I'm kind of overwhelmed at the amount of readings that I have to do right now. But I will have the planetary forecast notes done by next week. We will be doing the planetary forecast prior to us actually entering 2026. All right. Sounds like a Venus symbol to me. Venus symbol with the triangle on top. Oh, no, no, no. It's like an X cross. But I see what you're saying though. It's the triangle. You remember how you used to, can you draw a house without lifting your pencil off the paper and you would draw the triangle with the X? It's kind of like one of them type drawings. That's what's happening. Yep. That's what's happening. So, for now, because we're in the now space. So come back to the initial, new moon energy. Come back into the now. We're focusing on our sensuality. Now, I talked about our senses and our sensuality mad times. That was heavy. That was the mantra. That was the repeated word over and over and over again. It's the mandrake, 4 and 5. That's the celestial architect. That's the Maya energy, and 5 is the enforcer, which brings us to 9, what we give birth into our space. We're going to focus on the alignment of Neptune and Venus. Neptune and Venus alignment is key. Ooh, when that happens during Aries season, all them planets line up with Neptune and Aries. Ooh, that's gonna be fire. Okay, so yeah, sensuality is key here. We're gonna align our dreamy like self with what we value and what we prioritize. What the fuck do you want? Strength card here. Now we coming into that Leo energy we was chatting about. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Strength card is associated with the number 11, the self mastery energy. All right, you gotta master self. You gotta, you're good. You're good enough. Page of Swords. So, some of you guys, and okay, so we're just gonna talk about what Spirit just said. This is that whole Chiron and Pisces, woe is me, I'm a victim, I keep painting all these pictures, and then I feel like in order to heal, I have to paint another picture of how it's my fault, or paint another picture of how that person's actually. Stop fucking painting pictures. That's what I got from it. This is that painting pictures bullshit. This painting pictures bullshit is preventing you from being here and here. It's wasted energy. Stop wasting your energy. That's low hanging fruit. It's a waste of time. It still keeps you in that space. Now you keep going back and forth in your head. No, it's okay. Cause no, it's not okay. Like, bro, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. It happened. You experienced it. Let it strengthen you. Move on. That's it. I'm a better person now. I have better discernment now. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. If Neptune and Aries don't do nothing else for you, let it do that. That's it. That's all. All right. Also, what parts of self to focus on during this new moon cycle? You're going to focus on your Tippereth, your heart of fire, which is in alignment with the Strength card because that's Leo energy. That's your inner Leo energy. The Sun in Scorpio, transformations to your experiences, empowering transformations to your experiences. Okay. Yes. No more clouds. Bob Ross is tired. Bob Ross don't want to paint no more gray clouds, no more pictures, none of that shit. Just learn how to move on. We're not holding on to stuff like that no more. But yeah, let the revelations and your experiences strengthen you. That's it. We don't gotta paint nothing. Just work on your strength. Work on your heart chakra. Keep your heart light as a feather. You are a very strong person. Your strength don't come in callous. Some of y'all think being a mean person, being an angry person means that you healed. No, the fuck it doesn't. That's just a different way to express your pain. We still see the pain in you, you mean bitch. Like, fix it, okay? Complacency in that root chakra. Work on that. We're not staying in the same space. We're not staying rooted in the same space. By the time we get to that next new moon energy and that new moon lineup, you guys should be so well in tune to that lineup of your chakras and the root chakra of those chakras. There should be no space for complacency. See this woman mourning over shit? She's mourning over stuff because she kept so many things rooted in all her root chakras. Okay? And she just kept, trying to plant on top of them, trying to plant on top of, trying to plant. When the winter time comes, when we get to this winter solstice, this is a space of healing, of stillness, of uprooting things. We have to till the soil. We start breaking through the soil. We gotta uproot the things that make space for the seeds that need to be planted. You don't leave all that old shit in the soil and try to plant on top of it. Because what's gonna happen is it's gonna be a war of the roots. The roots of the withered plants and the roots of the things that you want to grow. We don't want that. It's gonna make everything to die. Now you sitting here like, bro, I tried to plant these seeds and they still not living. Everything, yeah, cause you didn't uproot that stuff out the soil. The soil ain't no good right now. You gotta heal that. Get out of that complacency, out of that root chakra, all right? And then a divination card is kept secrets. Kept secrets. Stuff coming out. It looks like what it looks like is so and so and so and so is trying to reveal some stuff, but my man's is like, listen, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear shit. You want to know why? Because I'm not painting no more pictures. I don't care. I've already uprooted that stuff. I don't want to deal with that stuff. You know, you guys heal from some stuff, and then some people come around and they only know that version of you that was still trying to heal, or that version of you that was going through that bullshit. And you're like, bro, you ain't seen me in how long? I don't know why you thought you was gonna come over here and have that old ass conversation with me. I don't care. I'm not dealing with that no more. And you know, y'all had all this time to talk to me about it. Ain't nobody want to talk to me about it. Ain't nobody want to heal. Ain't nobody want to communicate. Keep that same motherfucking energy. That's it. And it's not with anger. It's not with callous. The heart is still light as a feather. It's just, you can't keep coming over here with that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it no more. Right? You had them secrets, keep them secrets. And it ain't always just like an outright secret. Sometimes it's just like, I just wasn't ready to talk to you, have this conversation, reveal where my mindset was, why I did why I said, I don't give a fuck though. That's the thing. You keep talking like I give a fuck. Like, I can't stand when people realize that I don't talk to certain people, so they think it's okay to come to me and be like, well, you know, such and such was doing this. I don't give a fuck. I don't think y'all realize how much sunshine don't be giving a fuck. Don't bring that shit over here. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not painting no pictures. I'm not painting, I don't give a fuck. You know? And that's the type time I'm saying to be on with your Chiron. So you can move in your strength. And your strength ain't coming from you being a mean person, an angry person, a callous person, and oh, I've just protected my heart because I've been. No, that's not strength though. Because you're still painting a picture based upon some pain. You still got them booty ass roots in your soil, and you're trying to build new seeds and saying, well, these seeds are seeds of discernment now. No, the fuck they're not. They're sitting right next to the roots of the bullshit. That's not discernment. You're acting out of pain. Oh, this happened to me, so I'm about to show out. I'm about to be even better. Okay, so you about to do some dope shit out of pain, and when you don't feel that pain anymore, you're gonna be looking in the mirror like, well, what do I do now? Because that's kind of like was that Kill Bill or any type of animation. You spent your whole life training. I'm gonna get my revenge. I'm gonna avenge thee. Like, nigga, you just rooted your whole existence in a vengeance. So what the fuck who are you after you get your vengeance? After you get your point across? You're going to have to uproot that, right? You might as well do that shit now. Don't root your glow up in haters. Don't root your glow up in proving bullshit. Don't do that. Root your glow up in this is what brings me joy. This is in tune with my sensuality. This is in tune with my strength. That's what you root your glow up in. Y'all be rooting y'all glow up in being nasty, being mean, being argumentative, combative, and negative. That doesn't make sense. You think those roots is going to be strong? No. Them shits is going to be easily swayed too. The moment somebody come at you and trigger you, you're going to be just like this. Just like this. Right back to start. Right back to start. Now you retarded and glitching again. Now you arguing. Now you writing subliminals on your social media. Now now you over here being a part of the he say, she say. Now you going through monologues. Now you going above and beyond to explain your part of the story. You're painting again. You're painting again. For what? Because you rooted your glow up in some bullshit. You didn't heal. You didn't uproot. You're still giving them your energy. Exactly. You're still giving them your energy. When the doves cry. Exactly. Exactly. So I want y'all to uproot that bullshit and get ready for some new shit and make sure it's something that brings you joy. What makes you happy? How do you want to be? How do you want to feel? And then when you're doing this, think about, okay, so you got a goal. This is my goal. This is what I want in my life, right? What does that person look like? What does their daily routine look like? What does their body look like? What is their mindset like? What does that person do? What does that version of you that's living in that reality, what does their daily routine look like? What do they think about when they wake up in the morning? What's the first thing they do? Do they wake up and grab their phone? Do they wake up and go brush their teeth? Do they wake up and work out? What's the first thing they eat? What time do they eat? Who do they talk to? What kind of friends they have? What kind of conversations they be engaged in? That's how you get to your goals. You put yourself in the vibration to receive them. You can't put yourself in the vibration to receive this shit if you still staying the same person trying to reach these goals. I'm gonna stay with the same routine, but I'm gonna add some more shit to the routine. And that's not how it works. Some stuff has to get removed. Certain mindsets have to get removed. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little, little, I guess, little seed on how to get what you really want. It's not about you working hard and all that. It's about you becoming the person that is in the vortex of the thing you desire. The thing you desire is already there. It's there in abundance. Now, where your vibration need to be to get there, because the only thing you can control is yourself. You can't control your elements. You can't control, people, places, things, situations, ideas, opportunities, and stuff outside of you. The only thing you can control is yourself. So think about it. What parts of me can I control to put my being, my physical entity, in the vortex of the things that I desire? You got to plan that shit out. Push that shit out, man. You got the long-term planning of Sagittarius and Jupiter. You got the short-term planning of Mercury. All right? Play with those. Then on the square side of the game, you got Gemini over there giving you the opportunities and the community and the conversations, and they gonna give you both sides, because a leg walk won't do anything. A leg walk gonna give you the motherfucking crossroads. They're gonna give you a choice, and it's gonna test you of where you at and how bad you want what you want. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you got motherfucking who's the other one over there? Who's the other mutable nigga over there? I don't even be knowing sometimes. Oh, water. You got Pisces. Oh, fuck that. Anyway, it's like, nah, that's the dreams. That's the aspirations. That's the spiritual side of it, All the modalities have a spiritual side of it, you know what I'm saying? That's the spiritual side of it. Where are you at spiritually, emotionally? Your sensitivities, your nervous system. You got to regulate your nervous system. That's a big deal. If your nervous system all over the place is still stuck on stupid, I don't care what the fuck you do physically. All somebody gotta do is come over there and say some triggering shit. You gonna start, ooh, like, bro, relax, relax. So somebody come over there with the same name as the person that used to be, I can't talk to you because you got the same name. I can't fuck with you. You got the same zodiac sign. And you start glitching and shit. Like, bro, relax. You're obviously not healed. Relax. But that's what I got for y'all, and we love it here. I'm gonna end y'all on this because I already kept y'all for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? I kept me for 2 hours. It's 1 a.m. over here. Control, alternate, delete. Yes, push that shit out. Yes, hustle and flow. Push that shit out, man. I be saying that all the time. Just push that shit out. Just push it out. You got it. You got it. I love y'all, and again, if I, implore y'all to align with me tomorrow. We'll be cleansing our Sephiroths out, and bring your birth chart. Bring your birth chart. You can bring your questions, whatever. Align your birth chart with the information that I'm giving you. We're gonna cleanse out our Sephiroths, and then we're gonna manifest with them. Okay. And if you would like a more, personal situation, I do Sephiroth readings. So if you would like a personal Sephiroth reading, reach out, and I'll be able to align your personal planets on the tropical, Vedic, and Draconic chart, whether natal or progressive, it's up to you, into your Sephiroths. And so you can, be more in detail oriented with how you cleanse and manifest, you know what I'm saying, and get into the rituals and exercises and what with it. But y'all know I'm good for it. I've been doing this shit for over 10 years now. Y'all know I'm good for it. I got you. I would never do nothing crazy with y'all. I always appreciate and honor the trust and all that fun stuff. I love you too. I love all of y'all. I really care about y'all. I hope y'all know that. Even the ones that don't fuck with me no more. Like, I genuinely care about y'all. And I just want to see everybody win because I feel like I know that if we collectively raise our vibrations and put ourselves into the spaces that we deserve and we desire, it affects us on as a whole. You know what I'm saying? We're unique, but we're also united. We're also still come back to the one. And it's very important to stay in that mind space when we're doing for self. This It's about you and it's about us at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm always here for that. Again, tomorrow night, if you guys want that, message me. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, message me. You can email me on letsnobodies@gmail.com. Say, hey, I want that link. You guys have until 11 p.m. CST to message me about that link, to get that link. After 11 p.m., I am not looking at my notifications. I am going to be zoomed in because this ritual is not just about me teaching y'all. This is also something that I'm doing for myself in real time with you guys. This is what I want to do for myself for the solstice as well. So, and I want to share with you guys what it is that I do, and it has worked for me. It works for me every year. It works for me. It works for me in between the years. It's not just something I do for the solstice. It's something that I do, and it makes things happen for me. Okay, so I'm gonna share it with y'all. So I'm gonna let y'all go because my phone about to die anyway. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all so much. I hope y'all have a great evening. Happy new moon to everybody. Reach out if you would like a personal reading because y'all know I do that. You know what I'm saying? Peace, peace, y'all.